My name is Alexia, and today we're going to be going over the books I read in March. I read 29 books in March. Some of them I read for school. Starting out, I did a reread of Macbeth. I read this about 6 times. Every semester I have a class that talks about it, so I just end up reading it every couple months. But it is one of my favorite Shakespeare plays, so... Then I read A Touch of Darkness, Hades and Persephone retelling in a more modern day setting. She's a journalist and no one's ever been able to write a story about him, so she's trying to get close enough to find out some secrets and dirty details. I do like Hades and Persephone retellings. This was interesting. I'm definitely going to continue. I know there are a lot of books in this series. A whole second series that is just told from Hades' perspective. And I do not know if I'm going to reread the same exact book. I don't know if I will have the patience for that. Then I read You Again. This is easily one of my favorite books of all time. I didn't know how much I loved slow burn until I read this book. It takes place over 9 years. The burn was slow and it was so good. The characters were kind of unlikable, but it felt real. The writing is so good. The characters are so good. When Ari and Josh first meet each other, they can't stand one another. They continue to run into each other over the years until eventually, 9 years after the first time they met, they bump into each other and they both have gotten over a breakup and decide to help each other through it. The relationship they form it's so good. The next book I read is Scythe and Sparrow. This is the 3rd book in the Butcher and Blackbird series. I rated this one 4.5 stars, which was the lowest rated one out of the series, which really says a lot. I love this series. Each book follows a different brother and their love interest. The whole series is super funny. This one sadly was my least favorite. It's a bit of a slower start and you're kind of going over things that have happened in the past 2 books just from the POVs of the main characters that this one follows. I'll definitely be picking up more books by this author in the future. Then I read Frankenstein. I did read this for my Gothic literature class, but my sister got me this copy for Christmas and it's so pretty and she did stamp it. So cute. I did really enjoy this. It's a classic for a reason. Rated it 4 stars. Not my favorite classic, but I did enjoy it. I love the cloth-bound classic edition. The next book I read is Dark Harmony, which is the 4th and final book in the Rhapsodic series. I would not recommend this series, to be honest. I liked the first book. Then I kind of thought about the first book and I was like, wait, this is actually kind of weird. The whole premise is that the girl and the guy are like destined to be together. They're soulmates. But he's like old. He's old. And when she first comes into his life, she's like 16. Now given in this fantasy world that is legal and nothing happens between them until she's like mid-late 20s, the 3rd book is the whole story leading up to where you are at that point, told from his perspective, even when he first met her when she was younger. And you know, it just made me feel a little uncomfortable. Also, book 2, nothing happened. Nothing. I can hardly remember a thing. This book, it was like we're just dragging it at this point. Like, get me out of here. I rated it 2 stars. Would not recommend. Then I read Circe, which is the Odyssey retelling, but from the perspective of Circe, and you get to see her life before and after him, and I really liked it. It was sad, but I mean, you kind of know that going in for this author. Song of Achilles, it's cool to see her come into her powers. There was an aspect in the ending that didn't sit quite right with me. Overall, I did enjoy it. I rated it 4.25. Would recommend if you thought about picking this up or if you want to get into Greek mythology. Her writing is amazing and I'm gonna need her to release some more because I am starving. Then we have Storm and Fury. I rated this one 3 stars. I didn't love it. It was keeping my attention while reading it, but I don't feel the need to continue the series. Also, a lot of the dialogue was very juvenile. It's a new adult series. I thought it was YA. This follows Trinity, who can see ghosts and spirits. She's been living at a compound guarded with wardens, who are shapeshifters that protect people from demons. And then of course she meets the love interest, and then a supernatural war is unleashed. This is an urban fantasy, which I don't read much of because why do you have wings and also an iPhone? That just does not feel right to me. Then I read Electric Idol. I rated this 4 stars. This is the second book in the Dark Olympus series in Greek mythology. This one follows Psyche and Eros. If you like Greek mythology and you've been thinking about reading this series, this is definitely more heavy on the romance aspect. But it's super easy, quick. I'll probably be continuing this series. I'm not sure when because I don't have the other books. I enjoyed the first one as well. Go Luck Yourself. I love this book. It's enemies to lovers. Of course. This is the second book in the Royals and Romance series. The first book is The Nightmare Before Christmas. Loved it. It follows the Prince of Christmas and the Prince of Halloween. This one follows the other Prince of Christmas and the Prince of St. Patty's Day. Obviously, I love this book. The Prince of Christmas has to go spend St. Patrick's Day with the prince and his family to create an alliance of sorts between the two holidays. It's so good. It was funny, fun, super cute. Would definitely recommend picking this up. I love the characters. I'm going to be reading everything that this author's writing in the future. Do we see a pattern? I'm finding some good authors this month. Then I read The Stars Are Dying for my 24-hour reading challenge. I rated it 4 stars. I liked it. It's interesting. I'm going to continue the series. It did feel, I read the plot and aspects before. This follows Astria, who is trying to escape the man who is holding her captive. And she meets Knight, who decides to help her. Of course, he has some kind of shadow something. I don't even know at this point. Shadows are everywhere in all of these books. I can't escape the shadows. And there's vampires? Like, are there? I feel like it's not even big of a point in this book. I'm going to continue the series, and the book is really pretty. Like, come on. Come on. Then I read A Duet with the Siren Duke. Read this series if you haven't. If you haven't, what are you doing? But read this series. I read this one a 4.5. All of the series has been a 4.5 or above. No misses. I'm on the hunt for her because now I'm like, girl, you're so good. I need to read actually everything you've ever written. This follows Victoria as she's escaping a loveless marriage. She ends up being caught by a siren. She can choose to make a deal with him to return to him in 5 years or go down with her ship. She makes the deal, obviously. In the 5 years, she becomes a captain, but 6 months before their deal is up, the siren comes for her. Oh my gosh. You'll have to read to find out what happens next. I'm really just trying to get everyone to read this series. Love and Other Conspiracy. Rated this one 3.5. It follows Hallie, who is a producer, and Hayden, who has a podcast on conspiracy theories. She comes across his podcast and decides that she's going to reach out in hopes that he'll do a documentary series with her. In this series, they go over lots of conspiracy theories and they go to haunted locations, and it was fun and interesting. Some of the dialogue was very cringy. I would recommend it if you just want a cute little silly cheesy little romance book. On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, I rated this one 4 stars. This is a letter from a son to his mother who can't read, and it talks all about their past together, from his perspective and stories and things that he never told her. And it's super heavy. I would definitely recommend checking the trigger warnings. I would say read at your own risk. Then I read My Best Friend's Exorcism. I rated this 3 stars. Would not really recommend. No. The premise is interesting. The book, not so much. The book is supposed to be set in the 80s, but it felt kind of modern, and it follows 2 best friends. One night they go swimming, one of them goes missing, and she shows up different. Abby is trying to figure out what is wrong with her friend Gretchen, and she's trying to get help from adults, and no one is listening to her. I do love the cover art. It's actually so cool, but I would say that's probably all I like about it. So I wouldn't recommend this one. As Old as Time, this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling told as if Belle's mother is the one that cursed the beast. The timelines were kind of all over the place towards the beginning, and the ending was completely different from the original story, which, I mean, I suspected given the change of the whole plot. The romance definitely was in the background. I liked it, rated it 4 stars. I will probably read some more of the books in this series, probably not all of them because there are a lot. But if you're a fan of Beauty and the Beast, I think you'd like it. The next book I read is Otherworldly. I rated this one 4.25. I really liked it. This is a cozy YA fantasy romance. This follows Ellery, who is a non-believer of the supernatural. But the town they're living in is in a 5-year winter. The characters are super lovable. I would definitely recommend picking this one up. Then I read Home Before Dark, which was actually a 5-star read for me. 5-star thriller for me is rare. Hasn't happened since 2023 rare. This follows Maggie, who lived in this supposedly haunted house 25 years ago with her parents. Her dad at the time wrote a book about everything that happened in this house when they were living there, but the daughter doesn't believe it. So when her father passes away, is left the house, she decides to go and fix it up and also to see if she can find out the truth. I did not expect the ending at all. There was like a false ending and I was like, oh my gosh, like I guessed this. Ugh. But then the real ending happened. I was sitting there flabbergasted, jaw on the ground. I was like, so I would definitely recommend picking this one up. I read The Undermining of Twyla and Frank, 5 stars. Go read it. Go read it. It is actually so good. I love this series. The first book is The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. Both so good. Romance books set in a fantasy world. This book is like When Harry Met Sally but with dragons. This one is best friends to lovers. They've known each other for 13, 15 years. They're neighbors and partners at work. I just love this town and the people. This was a slow burn and it was amazing. Give me book recommendations for year-long slow burns because I'm actually gonna need that. Then I read The Love Haters. Catherine Center, girl, you have done it again. I love this book. Ah, it's so good. It's an ARC. It doesn't come out until May 20th. Write this down. It is so good. Such a perfect beachy summer, cute, fun, sad at times book. It follows Katie and Hutch. She's a video producer. He works as a Coast Guard rescue swimmer. She is sent to Key West to film a commercial for them, but she doesn't know how to swim. This book is so beachy, so perfect. I love the characters. It's just perfect all around. I love it. Then we have A Crown So Silver. Rated this one 4 stars. I really like this series. It's a fantasy romance with Fae and Irish mythology. This is the second book in the series. This book was definitely more of a slow start for me, but I did end up really enjoying it, and I would recommend checking this series out. All the other books I read this month are for school, so I will be skipping over those. Overall, I had a pretty good reading month. Be sure to like and subscribe and find me on other socials. Thank you so much for watching.